Welcome to Decor and Design as Easy as Mine. Today, I want to expand on my initial suggestion that we all have some pieces of furniture or an item of decor which appears outdated and no longer fits into our current plans. I say select one such piece. Have a close look at it. Before you throw it out, take a second look at it with a view to refurbishing it with some gold paint, which works well on cream or white painted wood. I also said that most of us are fearful of a project because we are not confident about it turning out well. My answer to that self-doubt is simple. If you are going to throw out that piece anyway, why not give Decor and Design as Easy as Mine a try? You have very little to lose. In today's decor trends, the traditional vintage style can blend well with the modern. So don't be afraid to take a risk. If a finished piece doesn't fit well where you intended it to be, then move it to another place. Through trial and error, you will find the right place until you feel it belongs there. All of this does not have to cost the earth. In any case, the world has yet to see how creative you are. So set your own trends. So my project is a Westminster chiming clock that signals every half hour with one chime, and then every hour thereafter, depending on what hour it is. So if it's 4 o'clock, it'll chime 4 times. It is a manually keyed clock, which has been in the family for over 30 years, and in storage for more than half that time. So to start with, I use methylated spirits to wipe down the whole of the outside of the cabinet. The clock has more than sentimental value. It is a well-known German make called Hermli, which was founded in 1922 in Goschheim. The Hermli family has been making precision clocks for 99 years so far. Remember that the objective behind this project is to make the clock more attractive, to show off its best features. While the style of the clock cabinet itself is traditional, it does not have to look dowdy. The detailed painting of the outside edges makes this butterfly emerge from the caterpillar. Now have a closer look at the transformation. It is decor well designed and well finished. So, the question that you ask is, what would I need for a job like this or a task like this? Methylated spirits, fine sandpaper, paintbrush, a water-based gold metallic paint for decor and furniture, some masking tape, and of course, furniture polish. I started out by wanting to accentuate the turned wood columns of this clock. So one needs to be cautious about not painting the whole clock, which I think would look too garish. So I masked the columns first. I then lightly sandpapered all the masked areas that I was going to paint. The time taken in masking will ensure clean, neat edges. Press the sides down firmly so that the paint does not seep through. So after the masking has been finished and the first coat of gold paint is added to the columns, but remember that you need to sand that area that you're going to paint with sandpaper before you paint. Wait for each coat to dry completely. Look at the paint container for details on the drying time. In my case, the paint was dry after 20 minutes. I then applied the second coat, waited 20 minutes before the third and final coat was applied. As I was not too sure about how much of gold paint I was going to put onto this clock, I realized then that I would have to mask the upper and lower curved parts of the clock. That is the head or the tail of the cabinet. I then painted both parts, waited 20 minutes before the next coat until the final one was finished. Take your time and do not paint outside the masked areas. A word of caution. Please take your time and do not be impatient. Remember that patience is key, so follow each of the steps I have outlined from the top to the bottom, ensuring that you have a clean edge. When that is done, stand back and view your creation critically. If paint has touched a space not allocated to it in your plan, take a sharp blade and remove the excess gently. If you have painted outside the edges, you might in fact have to think about retaping the space and perhaps repainting it. So before you find the ideal space for your finished piece, it is important that you use some furniture polish, usually a silicone-based one, and clean the unpainted surfaces all around the clock itself. Once that is done, I think you can find the right place. Was that decor and design not easy as mine, as promised?